I have a few announcements to make. First of all, tomorrow I have to have that eye procedure, but there will be a class at 7:30 time here. I mean, many of you are in Europe and Israel, so it doesn't concern you, but the others, there will be a class. Jennifer will teach it at 7:30 tomorrow. Another announcement. I've been announcing over the last few days about these podcasts I receive from this group in India that I do podcasts with. And been asking people if they could, if I could, interested, I can send them the podcasts. And if you listen to them and like them, and I think you will like them, send them to your friends, your relatives. I'm really interested in, getting new people here. And and this might be a way that people could hear these podcasts and say, I should find out something about this. Maybe it could help me in my life. So if are interested, just send me an email. I will send you the podcasts. You can listen to them and maybe send them out. Does anyone have a question they would like to ask?
Stuart, how do we stay light?
Excuse me?
How do we stay light about things?
Well, look, Nina, you've been doing this work for how long? 20 years? And it's about time that you start learning what it's all about, how to use it in your life, how to build a system inside you that is strong enough to stay light. Staying light is not a problem if you're balanced and have a real foundation inside you. If your heart is open, your mind is quiet, you'll have no trouble dealing with any situation that arises in your life. I mean, you got to finally take in years of what I've been trying to teach you, and you don't take it in. So then you ask me a question like that, and it kind of, you know, I mean, what to do? It's not only your problem, it's the problem of a lot of people. They come to the class, they sit, they get a lot of energy, fill up their tanks, and when they leave, they forget all about it. It's next and next and next and next and next, instead of, I got to conserve this energy. I got to truly learn how to build inside myself a chakra system that's strong enough to keep my heart open. You build that kind of a system, you'll have no trouble staying light. You'll have no trouble dealing with any kind of circumstance that comes into your life. And there always will be circumstances that come into your life. I mean, look, I published this book, and the biggest response I got to this book I published, honestly, is scammers trying to make money off of me. And I had to stay light. At first I got really pissed off. I said, here, I sat down and wrote a book that could maybe save the life of a human being who reads it. And the biggest response I got to this book was from people that are trying to scam me out of money. And I'm not talking one or two, I'm talking 50, one after the other. I have to stay light. I have to keep my heart open. I have to stay centered and balanced. You never know how you're going to be tested by life. And the only way you get it, people have to get training. They have to learn how to do it. We're not born knowing how to do what I'm talking about. We have to learn how to do it. And I always say, it's not about being a swami or being this or a rabbi or a priest or an imam or, about wearing a robe. The responsibility of a teacher is to, or a spiritual person, is to teach the people that study with them how to build the kind of system I'm talking about, not to walk around pretending they're holy. Then people have to learn it. They have to make a commitment. Say, wow, this is what is being taught here. I better commit myself to learning this stuff. Otherwise, it's just a waste of everybody's time, you know? And you want to stay light in your life. You want to have love. You want your heart to be open. You have to build a system inside that is strong enough to do it. Because every single one of us will always be tested by life. Every single one of us. And I don't care how highly evolved you are and how much knowledge you have and wisdom, there's always going to be some bullshit that comes along that tests one. Are you grounded? Are you centered? Have you learned the lessons that have been taught to you over years? And are you using it, practically in your life? Otherwise, it's just a waste. And I always say meditation is a bunch of nonsense unless you know how to use it practically in your everyday life. It's nonsense. So I think you and me and all of us are here to learn this and then apply it in a practical, pragmatic way in our everyday life. Otherwise, it's all nonsense.
Thank you, Stuart.
And if you don't do it, you have nobody to blame but yourself. I mean, I talk about this ad nauseum. I talk about this. So I'm tired of talking about it. People have to listen. Or maybe you're tired of listening to it and it just goes right past you. I don't know. But that's what this meditation is for. Meditation is not a religion. It's not a cult. I say this 100 times over again. It's a craft. It is a craft. And it's a miraculous craft that one can learn to build inside themselves a system that's strong enough to deal with all the nonsense that goes on in the world. Remember, you got to realize 98% of all people on this planet are totally unconscious. Totally unconscious. So we can't have expectations about people functioning with consciousness. We have to get stronger in order to deal with the nonsense that people bring us. I hope this is clear, because it's the one thing I always loved about Rudy's work, that it is something that is totally applicable to you. You don't have to go live in an ashram or get spaced out in a cave somewhere, being holier than thou and wearing robes and smelling from incense. And just have to learn how to build a chakra system and allow it, to be used so that you can live in the world in a practical way. You can be a conscious person even if the rest of the world is unconscious. But you got to learn it. And everybody has excuses. I remember that movie about Rudy. Oh, I've heard all the excuses. I've listened to every excuse. Just come here and burn up your garbage and build a system that's strong enough to be able to do what I'm talking about. And then you will do me the greatest favor you can possibly do me, to learn this. I mean this. Anyway, does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? And just to finish this, don't take it for granted. Don't assume that I'm going to be here forever. I'm not. Everybody assumed that Rudy was going to be there forever, and he wasn't. Told me at least 30 times he was going to, take his samadhi when he was 84 years old. And at 45 years old, he had burned up all his karma, took his samadhi. It left a lot of people hanging from a cliff who took Rudy for granted and assumed that he was going to be around forever. I mean this, you know? So people come to class, they don't come to class, they this, they that, they got this, they got the other, they got all kinds of stuff. All I ask from people is 3 hours a week. It's not asking much. Come by 3 classes a week, or in this 1 o'clock slot, to get the training that is really necessary. Not to be my disciple, not to be, a person following me. I don't need followers and I don't need disciples. I need people that really want to learn how to get to God. And you're not going to learn how to get to God unless you learn how to live lightly on the earth with your heart open. If you've got to learn how to be a human being first, then the rest of it is just organic. And this, look, I spent many years with a teacher, and then I'd spent, most of my life trying to make practical the things he taught me, but not thinking about them and analyzing them, but as living experience. Living experience. The miracle of God is everywhere around each and every one of us. And the only thing that's missing is us. We need the training to be able to see that miracle that we were born into. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? Bob Anderson came to New York and he told me he'd like to spend 3 weeks in New York, to get as close. And I've been having classes with him every single day. Somebody's willing to do that, make himself available. Of classes with them every day. And then other people have been coming. It's been very nice. But it shows me I am willing to do something beyond the ordinary day that I live to get what you have to teach. Remember when I said to Rudy, is it possible that I can live in your house? I asked him that. This is after Muktananda left, and there were so many people there. And I didn't know what I was getting myself into. Man, it was one of the hardest years I ever lived in my life. It was really something. I was broken down every single day, having to learn how to overcome myself and learning from this incredible master what I'm doing today, trying to pass this all on to you. And he taught me never take it for granted. Does anyone else have a question? I hope it's clear. I mean, I'm not here to scold you all or to break out the whip. I'm trying to share with you, I have so many years of doing this, a lifetime of experience. of what it takes to truly have a spiritual. I saw it take my teacher, what he went through. It was unbelievable what he went through in order to have a spiritual life. In many ways, this Zoom thing is too easy. It really is. You know, nobody has to go anywhere. At least I had to go across town in New York, the middle of the winter, and get to my teacher's, meditation center. I mean, everybody is, nobody has to go anywhere. I mean, I'm glad we do it, and it's a miracle that it can connect with people all over the world. I think that is extraordinary that we can do this kind of thing. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? So you want to get light? Look in the mirror. Take a good look at yourself. Look at what you attract in your life. Look at the things you attract that are making you heavy and change inside. Change inside. You will stop attracting those things. You will get strong enough to where those things will not create heaviness in you. In other people, yeah, but in you, no. Life is an incredible mirror. It teaches us every day exactly who we are. It really does. And to curse it and to spit at it and to put it down, all you're doing is putting yourself down. It's showing you, and you're putting yourself down. Does anyone else have all right, I'm tired of asking that question. Okay, God bless you all. Have a wonderful day. I didn't mean to get into all of this, but sometimes you got to get into all of this. So God bless you. And as I said, I have to have this procedure tomorrow. I have it every couple of months. And tomorrow's the day, but there will be class tomorrow evening. Jennifer will be teaching. And I'm looking forward to seeing everybody on Tuesday. God bless you.
Thank you, Stuart.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome. Bye.